Okay, my friends, I am now finally done the A-arms and everything is attached, other than obviously the steering rack. But all the A-arms are on there. The new shocks are welded on there, and I had to move the location of where they used to attach out to here to get the right amount of bounce. Now when I get two people in it, it drops about, I don't know, an inch or so, which is about perfect for me. And that levels the bike out nicely. So yeah, guys, exciting. That was a ton of work to get all of that done to make this thing a lot wider. But now I've got to do the steering, and yeah, first thing is going to be the steering box has got to be installed, the rack and pinion, and then the steering wheel, and then we'll start on the dash and pedals. But I think the first thing I'm going to do after I get I don't know, I have to raise the seats up, so that may be done first, or I may start with this steering rack, but I'll bring you back once I get working on this. Okay, my friends, I have now completed the front end. There's just one thing I have to do, and that is move the rack and pinion steering up a little further, because I'm getting so much bump steer, and obviously I don't want that. And it's sitting a bit high on the front, so I may have to move a few things, but I don't have a plan to go off of, and I'm just kind of winging this as I go. It's been a minute since I've updated you. I've now got the brake controller booster all in, and I've got the whole dash in. So I've got it all welded into the ends here and then tied into the steering column. I've also got the seats raised up. I just cut them and raised them up. So yeah, things are moving along pretty good now. I did take it for a little test pull. I didn't start it or anything yet. Sorry, it's really loud with the wind out today. It's 2 degrees Celsius, so pretty cold out today in the middle of May. So yeah, so next thing I got to do is now get the pedals all wired in, the brake lines. The shifter is going to be the next big thing I got to do, because I got to figure all that out and make sure it's done properly. So yeah, that's where I'm going to go next. Is I've got it just attached here just so I could see where the gears were. I needed to get it into neutral, and then I will cut this, flip it around, and have it come back from the front there, and hopefully control everything nice and easily from there. And it'll just be flipped back around, but it doesn't matter. This would be first, second, third, fourth, fifth in reverse. So alright guys, that's what I'm going to do next. Is I'm going to start tackling this, and then I'll bring you back once I've got this hooked up. Okay, my friends, after a little while here, I've got the shifter all installed. It took a little bit of figuring out, but it's all welded in here and along the front here, right up beside the seat, and it does change gears just perfectly fine now. I'll show you now what I did on the back. I had to extend the pipe, but I'll show you from over here. Actually, it's probably easier from here. So right there you can see it. I had to cut the pipe and have it run over. Sorry for moving it around so much here. And then this is free floating, this bolt here, but this lower one is welded in, so it will keep the same trajectory as it did before. And I just switched it around, so yeah, you can kind of see it there. Maybe, yeah, there you go. So you can see how I had to cut that and extend it so that it came back here. So yeah, that works perfectly fine now. Next thing I'm going to work on, I did start on some cable work and that kind of stuff for the clutch, but I'm actually going to go and finish the front end. I want to get it completely done, and then I'll do these finishing touches with the wiring and all of that. So alright guys, I'll bring you back and I'll show you what I've done on the front end to move everything forward once I get it done. Okay, my friends, just got another package. I did get the front end done here, and I'll show you here once I get this out. Came from Amazon, and I've been waiting for this to come in, so let's have a look. needed to add to my tool collection. So this is going to be for taking out U-joints and ball joints and all of that, and tie rod ends, I mean. And yeah, it was pretty affordable. I think it was, you know, $35, $40 on Amazon, and it's it looks pretty well built. So obviously right now I don't need it, but I will need this in the future. So it's got 3 different size forks, so that's going to be super handy to have. This is the, of course, made in China fuel pump. I'm pretty sure this is the fuel pump for the bike, because I'm not using the original gas tank out of the car. And this one is a big heavy box. This one is all the big sockets. This goes all the way from 29 millimeter all the way up to 38 millimeter. So when you're doing hubs and stuff like that, you need this size of socket. And I've never had these darn sockets, and it's the most annoying thing if you're going to pull a front end apart or something like that, and you don't have these 2 sets of tools. So, okay, guys. Well, I'll bring you back here in 2 minutes, or in 2 seconds, and I'll show you what I did with the front end. Okay, so now you can see that I've got, these were the old clamps, so I try to reuse whatever I can. So these pinch this bar across here, and then it's welded on both sides of those tabs. Just need to take those off now, and now it is almost perfectly in line with the stud now on the hub. And same as on this side, the arms are much straighter now. So now when I push down, I get absolutely no bump steer whatsoever. So I may actually put in these other shocks back in, because they're a much softer shock, and see how that works. And if it's not right, then we'll stick these back in and we should be good to go, because this is just a bit more stiff, which I don't think is a terrible thing, but we'll see if we can add some more spring to it to give it a softer ride. So, alright guys, so yeah, next is going to be, I guess, finishing up the clutch cables, and then it's going to be starting wiring. So, alright, I'll bring you back. Okay, my friends, I've now got the rack and pinion all moved up. You can see there, it's all in its new place. I've also got the clutch cable done. I took aircraft cable. It goes there, and I had to brace it, and then it goes down underneath and then back to the clutch at the back. So that's all done. The clutch is working just fine. I've got to go here shortly and pick up all the stuff to do the brakes, and then the brakes will be done, and then there's just the gas pedal and wiring left. I've now rebuilt the whole rear end and the exhaust, so now you can see how the rear end looks. I went with something completely different. I wanted it to be unique, and yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. That's actually an old steering wheel that I had built, and it just happened to fit perfect around that exhaust as it came up. So I took that and then kind of spidered off of that to strengthen everything, and now it is a lot better looking once it's painted. Right now you're seeing it unpainted, so things really look a lot different, but I like the way it turned out. I couldn't have one come up the center there, because that is where the gas tank attaches, and then that would kind of be in the way. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. The exhaust, I took off the Cadillac converter, so it's just straight pipe back to this muffler. So hopefully it's not too loud. If it is, I'll have to figure out something, maybe a quieter muffler, but we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, I will bring you guys back maybe after I get the brake lines tied in, and then yeah, hopefully next video we'll be starting this thing. Okay, my friends, I've now got the brakes all up and going. That took a better part of 3 hours to do, but I flared all my own ends and stuff. So I bought these nylon parts here that go from the caliper and normally would hang in a bracket. So they were quite a bit shorter than I didn't pay attention to the length of this. I just figured it would have been longer, but regardless, I've got it all attached now, and it's free flowing so that it can move with the suspension. And then I went to 3/16 brake line, flared my own ends, and then I bought both of these on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description. There's this and the line I got with a bunch of fittings. So that was an amazing deal for all of that, because I was going to go steel braided ones the whole way, because I do have a 100-inch one already, but it would have cost me 3 times as much to do the brakes if I went that way. So, and of course the same on the opposite side there. I was able to get all the bleeder screws to break loose, which was kind of exciting. Now I haven't attached anything up here. This is all going to get, you know, more attached now. And then I have 3 fittings on mine because this went to a diverter. So I just welded the tip closed on one of them, and that closed 2 of the ports off, and then these 2 run independent of each other. So if one failed or I blew a brake line, I would still have brakes to one wheel. Not that I'm worried about that right now, but all of this being brand new. So yeah, now that I've got everything attached, the next thing is that I'm going to take the all the electrical is going to be dealt with now, and I've got the throttle. And other than that, I've got to wire in the fuel pump that I've got already, and then this should be ready for its first test drive. Okay guys, I've pretty much got everything all hooked up now. Enough that I think we can at least try a start to see if I at least got the wiring done right. This isn't going to be here, and all the wiring still needs to be cleaned up. But let's we'll dump a little bit of gas down the carb, and then I'll go give it a shot here and see if it starts. Oh, this is exciting. Here we go. Clutch in. She starts. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now obviously it's not going to run for very long because I just dumped a little bit of gas down the bowl, but there we go guys. It starts, it runs. Yeah, I think I've got everything kind of put together, so we will do a you know, more detailed video here soon once I get the wiring all neated up and looking a lot more presentable. So okay, well, the new wheel adapters came in, so I've got to get these now put on to here, and I should be able to bolt on the ATV tires, which are here, these Canada Bear Claws. They're like brand new, so this should give me tons of grip, and it will make the rear end sit a little bit higher. I am kind of at a standstill. The fuel pump that I had bought is only 4 to 7 psi, and this one requires around 40 to 50 psi. So I had to order a much better quality fuel pump, of course more expensive, so I am waiting on that. So it's not going to be here for another week, so I figure I'm just going to continue on with a bunch of other things. So I've got to do the wheel spacers next. I've started building doors, so it's going to have doors that come up this high right here, and then it's going to have a piece of foam on the top here, just so when your elbow is resting on it, it's not uncomfortable. And I'm going to make my own barrel hinges to go here, that the door will swing out suicide style. And then I've got a latch system that is going to latch into there and should be good. That way it keeps, you know, everything contained, and then everything is going to get skinned in 18 gauge metal. So this will be closed in this spot, and then the doors will be closed in. So that's what I'm working on right now. I've also ripped everything out of the steering wheel and preparing. I have a new steering wheel coming, 12.5-inch steering wheel instead of this 13.5 or 14-inch. Actually, this one is. So it'll be a lot smaller, and it's the racing style where it's circle and then flat on the bottom. And that will give me a lot more room for my legs because this is standard. So that's where I'm at right now, guys. I am, of course, waiting on a bunch of stuff to come in. So I'll try to keep you guys entertained. And later on in this video, I'll show you the new paint scheme for this and give you the new name of the buggy. So, all right, stay tuned and we'll talk soon. Okay, my friends, I've got the whole door framed out now. Now tomorrow this is all going to get skinned with 18 gauge steel, or metal, like I said. I just made these barrel type hinges. So 2 pieces of pipe with another one welded in the top here so that they're easily removable. And then just welded a jam on there so that when it closes, it stops there. And then there'll be a seal, like a foam seal, that will go there. So when you close that it's not shaking all over the place and vibrating. And then there'll be a seal because the floor is obviously not straight across here. It kind of goes in on an angle. I got a seal that will seal all along that edge there. And, you know, this thing is not meant to be sealed. Obviously, the back isn't sealed right here. And, you know, I think eventually I'll probably get a big piece of metal and bend it up the back here and weld it in from down there to here. If not, you know, that may never happen. I don't know. We'll see. Let's get back to the door though. So yeah, this is going to be skinned here and here, and I've got the latch ready to go on, but obviously that's not going to be done yet. You know, trying to think ahead here. Now, for the color for this girl is now going to be changed from green, obviously because my channel changed. Not that green's not still my favorite color, but I'll first tell you what the name is going to be. My wife says that, you know, this is my other girlfriend, and she doesn't see a whole lot of me because I spend so much time in here working on this thing. So I thought we'll call it the Mistress, and we're going to get that put on the bottom of the windshield. And then we're going to use the red trim clad for all the accent pieces. So the A-arms are going to be painted red, shocks are going to be painted red, you know, certain things are going to be painted red, and then the whole rest of the buggy is just going to be painted a nice shiny black. So I thought the black and the red, very elegant, so it'll go with the name The Mistress. So yeah, guys, that's where I'm at right now. I also got the holy shit bar on here too. That's all welded up here. This is just some old bike handles that I had, so they put it on here and then welded all together with this round tubing. And it's nice and high, so when you get in, and oh, I never did finish showing you, when you open the doors here, you can just pull them off, and they're just pinned on just like this, and put them back on. It's just a matter of sliding them in. And now those pins are heavy duty enough that they could hold probably 3 times this, but you got to imagine people are going to put weight on it and stuff, and I just didn't want them to bend. I could have just went to the store and bought, you know, a little weldable hinge, but then it's not made by me, and, you know, it's just not, you know, I want this to look as nice as possible. So I've still got the other door to build, but I got to pick up more steel tomorrow, and I'm picking up the metal too. So we'll also bend a piece here to go across the dash to close the bottom of the dash off. Okay, my friends, I've been busy. I know I haven't checked in today. It's been just a beautiful day, and it's supposed to not be so nice for the next little while. So I just started and just kept going all day. So I do have the outside panels on here, and I do have the dash in, and, you know, I had to hammer all that down to get it to do the swoop and everything, but with 20 gauge it's easy to work with. So that's all been tacked down and now primed, same as the steering wheel column and all of that. And now I am working on the back firewall that will go between the seats and the engine. So this is all going to fit in here. I've kind of got everything notched out to go around everything I need, and I'm adding in supports here on the side, which is also these are going to be closed in as well. Yeah, so I got to do that on the other side, and I do have the doors all skinned, and they're out here getting primed. So there's the 2 doors, they're all completely done, and yeah, all primed now. And then tomorrow, well, it won't be tomorrow, the next day it's nice, we'll start painting. So yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. You know, I'm just moving along as fast as I can, but I gotta wait for a fuel pump to come in anyways, so it's kind of irrelevant. Won't get it till May 22nd, and so another, I don't know, quite a few days. So yeah, once I get all this installed and get everything primed, and maybe we'll do a little time lapse of getting this thing prepped and ready for paint. So, all right, everybody, we'll bring you back when we get to there.